Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting edition of Kavzar's Settlement Showcase, and today I'm going to be showing you Tenpines, which, as you know, is a ridgeline settlement in the very northern part of the Commonwealth, right next to Outposts Zamonja. And like all of my settlements, I have of course renamed it, and you'll see why and to what in just a moment. It was renamed after this. You'll notice all those birds. It's close to sunset, so I'll have to make this pretty quick. But the settlement has been renamed Raven's Bridge. Now that is in honor, of course, of that bridge that we just crossed that's usually covered in crows. Right over there. And this is one of my Big E settlements, as I've commented in several other videos. And now this is the main entrance. You'll notice that there is no gate or vault door like most of my other settlements. This one's pretty isolated and secluded, so it doesn't really require too heavy of a fortification. Plus, traders come through here quite often, so that's why I keep it open. But it does have a sizable defense. You'll notice on both the southeast corner over there, the southwest corner here, and the main entrance, you know, these two have laser turrets, heavy laser turrets on them. This one guards Raven's Bridge itself. Excuse me. And you'll notice there's 4 laser turrets here that are controlled by this switch, which can be shut down at any time. And in theory, there should be a person stationed up here to make sure it doesn't shoot at friendlies that come over from Outposts Zamonja, which is over that direction. And you'll notice that over here we also have laser turrets controlled by a master switch, which can be shut down. Same thing over here. I usually like to have a little bit of control over the defenses. I don't like to have them always on, as most people would for simplicity's sake. I like mine to be a little bit more realistic. Here we have the broadcast antenna for the recruitment radio beacon. And over here is the main farm with all the survivors. Local survivors that have found this place and call it home now. We have nothing but mute fruits because they're delicious. Bunch of water pumps for the mute fruits.
Yes?
And over here we have water purifiers. This is for human consumption. Quite a few of them. And here is the crown jewel of Raven's Bridge, Nevermore Fortress. Named in honor of the legendary Edgar Allan Poe, and of course his very famous work, The Raven. So I designed this particular fortress to somewhat resemble a mushroom cloud. Tried as best as I could to do that. And I used quite a bit of mods, like I did for most of my Big E settlements, to do this. You'll notice these support columns. These were done with the aid of mods. And we'll explore that last. We're going to take a look over here at the northeast corner. You'll notice that this defense is for the bluff that overlooks that little house we started at. That house usually has raiders and or super mutants that spawn over there. You can kind of imagine, you know, troops of super mutants coming through this valley down into the Commonwealth from the north. So this kind of fortress defends the Commonwealth as a bastion against hordes of rampaging super mutants. Again, another power switch to control the turrets. In this building, well, we'll go around and I'll show you. The dilapidated house in the back.
So hungry all the time.
Here we have the northwest corner of the fort of the settlement. Another couple of heavy laser turrets. Now this is probably one of the best areas from which to attack because there's a lot of cover. There's a lot of rocks and boulders and bushes and trees and things to hide behind. That pathway to the main entrance is a little barren, so it kind of leaves you wide open to counterattack from the fort. But here would probably be the best, and it slopes downwards towards the fort. So any attackers that would want to take over Tenpines would do well to remember this area. It would be suicide to do it from the bluff over there. Now this back building, which is a dilapidated house when you first take over the settlement, has been repurposed and is now the power room. And there's a broken down tub there I can't get rid of. And that's because of the mods that I've done that for some reason hard codes tubs into the environment for whatever reason. But anyways, so this is a fusion generator, provides 100 power. That's more than enough for the settlement, for all the turrets, for all the water purifiers, for the radio beacon. And now we are going to go up into Nevermore Fortress, which is a very labor-intensive building that took quite a while to build. Here's a decontamination arch. I don't necessarily need this anymore, but I have it for all the other survivors to get the rads off of them after a long day outside. You'll notice it is nightfall. I'm going to have to make this pretty quick. Bottom floor, you have a couple of beds, 2 beds and a mattress. So, you know, anybody to kind of guard the main doorway into the building at night. Next floor. Just kind of a transitionary floor. There's nothing really here. Kind of dead space. However, you do have this little balcony alcove that looks out towards the main entrance over there to the south. Gives you a little bit of cover with the support pylons in case you want to kind of duck and weave in between those when you're defending the base. Here, you have the corner of the settlement that we just showed you, and the sloping area with trees and boulders and stuff kind of gives you a means of aiding both your turrets and shooting back, you know, a little defensive area. So, cool thing there. Over here, you have another kind of alcove balcony area that overlooks the main valley approach from the north. You can kind of see the lights from down there. You know, that dilapidated shack out in the valley. Here you have a bed, so someone can kind of always be on watch. A couple of beds underneath the stairs that go to the next level. Here, you have kind of a communal living space, a bunch of beds for all the survivors that, you know, trickle in from the wasteland of the Commonwealth. And here's the top floor. This is a very wide open area. It can kind of, well, not really see. Probably do something about that, shall we? And sorry for the delay. I had recorded this just a couple of seconds ago, but the recording was all messed up because Elgato is subpar sometimes when you record. There we go, sunrise. Plenty of sunlight to be able to view things. There's the northwest corner again. Kind of given a perfect vantage point of the entire western side of the settlement from up here. You can see the approach to the main gate opening. And in a previous video that I recorded of this settlement, it was under attack by several power armored raiders coming through here, wide open area. And while they didn't have any cover, they did have power armor, so I knew the laser turrets, heavy laser turrets there at the gate, would not be able to kill them fairly quickly. And so I had to join in and start shooting at them from up here. And the firefight was actually pretty intense. And that did include the turrets that are above me, which I will show you momentarily. So, pretty good vantage point from up here. You have the high ground, so it kind of nullifies the cover afforded to any attackers, you know, by these trees and that boulder and the brush and stuff. So, kind of equalizes, you know, you have the high ground. Another little vantage point here you can see off to the east. And on a clear day like today, you can see the Pridwin all the way at the Boston International Airport, under the control of the Brotherhood of Steel and downtown Boston. So, kind of a little murder hole if anybody actually manages to breach the outer wall and come in, pouring into the settlement and somehow knock out most of the turrets. It's a little murder hole, so if anybody tries to gain access to Fortress Nevermore, or excuse me, Nevermore Fortress, they will be shot from here. Here's my bed, which is a mod, mine. You'll notice that only I can sleep in. A footlocker for any items I managed to come across out in the Commonwealth I can dump in here. A couple of guest beds for any companions I have. Here, you have more vantage points out to the east. Outpost Simonja's over that way. That's another settlement for another day, which I believe I've already recorded. I'm not entirely sure if I've uploaded or not yet. We'll see. I'll double check that later. But anyways, you have another little murder hole vantage point area from over here. You can see probably one of the best vantage points of the settlement to see the approach from the north, that northern railroad track road, the valley that comes through. And you can just kind of imagine again those green-skinned troops tromping through here from somewhere else, looking for the green stuff. And pretty cool stuff. It gives you a really good vantage point. It gives you a vantage point of that broken down house. There's usually raiders or super mutants down there like I've iterated before. And that's pretty much this floor. So now you go to the roof access. You'll notice a bunch of Brotherhood flags on the facade of the building. In the roof access you have all of these missile turrets on top. So anything that tries to attack from the north, try to come up that hill from there, or that vantage point over there, will get broadsided by all these missile turrets. Anything that tries to attack from the west, you have these two turrets kind of giving you fire. This particular turret, as well as this one, provides cover to the turrets at the main gate, which is what made that firefight so very intense and so very realistic. Kind of wish I recorded it. Oh, I did, but it didn't come out very well. And that reminds me, ladies and gentlemen, I will probably go back and have little assault videos of creatures trying to attack my settlements. I've tested out a couple of mods to be able to do that. One of them significantly affected my frame rate. Again, I am playing on an Xbox One, which can't quite handle some of the more intense things of this game. And I will try to balance it out to make the raids by super mutants and stuff on my settlements a little bit easier for my Xbox to handle. And hopefully I will upload those to the Settlement Showcase spin-off series that I will do sometime in the future. You know, the attack and defend certain settlements. And so, just basic tours right now is kind of what I want to do. And again, this particular building, Nevermore Fortress, took quite a bit of real-world time to construct. Very, very labor-intensive. You'll notice this power pylon here controls all the turrets on the roof. It'll shut down. Again, I like to have a little bit of control. Makes it a little bit more realistic. And there are several mods at work for this current settlement. Unlimited building, the build anywhere mod, and I believe there's one more mod that is at work. So the one that gets rid of the building restriction in terms of how much you can build. The one that, actually, let's take a look, shall we? Where is that? Mods. There's quite a few that I have downloaded since they've been made available. Trying to remember where my settlement mods are. Those are all the weapon mods. Uncapped settlement surplus that allows me to collect more than the max amount of food and purified waters from settlements. That one does a variety of things, and it's listed in that URL there. Let's see. This is my bed. I showed you that earlier. So there we go. So the place anywhere mod, I can place walls, any objects anywhere outside of the red zone. Oh, extended settlement borders. Yeah, that's the one where I can build beyond the the borders of the settlement, which is very nice, and settlement limits slashed. So this is the old one that I have for unlimited building that is no longer supported. However, I have it downloaded so it still functions. You just can't download it from the Bethesda modding tool that they have. So it's no longer available to download. So that's the replacement. If I ever decide to delete that, this is the replacement where I can build past the settlement limit. And this is the advanced settlement turret set that I have, where I can build minigun turrets, Liberty Prime laser turrets, Fat Man turrets, all kinds of crazy stuff. This particular settlement doesn't have any of those. I built it fairly early on. It doesn't have any of the wacky turrets or anything like that. It just has the regular run-of-the-mill ones, heavy laser turrets, and the missile turrets. Makes it a little bit more realistic, a little more quaint. You know, this is a smaller settlement, however, it did take quite a bit of time to build. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching another in a long series of Kavzar Settlement Showcase videos. I hope you enjoyed it. I very much enjoyed building this settlement. It's one of my biggie settlements, as I've said in several other videos, that one of the more time, labor-intensive, one of the larger, you know, area-wise settlements that I have. And thank you for watching again, and stay tuned for more Kavzar's Settlement Showcase videos. There will be more to come. And there is the Ravens Bridge. I'll leave you with this lovely image.